Welcome everyone, Tactical Lich here, and today we have a battle replay sent in by Koala Duck versus Yumae from the RTK clan. Now, for the army build here, the Tzeentch army played by Koala Duck is going for a very grind-heavy build. Ever since the Mutilative Vortex Beast being added to the Tzeentch roster, Tzeentch became one of the strongest melee grind faction, all thanks to this Mortis engine piece, plus a very strong defensive infantry, the Severed Claw, supported by the almost unlimited healing from Kairos Fateweaver with his regrowth spell. Kairos, of course, coming in with some other abilities and items, including Blue Fire, the Staff of Tomorrow for that reduce on cooldown, Scroll of Destiny, and Arcane Conduit, plus the Life Leeching spell. Now, for the rest of the army, we have a Soul Grinder of Tzeentch for that long-range firepower. At the back there, a couple Chaos Warriors with Halberds, supported by Pink Horrors of Tzeentch. In disguise, a couple Screamers, and that's it for the Tzeentch army build. For the Warriors of Chaos, led by Yumae, we have a ton of Skirmishing Cavalry, 3 Marauder Horsemen with Javelins, 2 more with Throwing Axes. At the back there, a ton of healing available to the Chaos army. We have 4 Chaos Trolls with Armored version, providing a lot of regeneration potential, while in the skies there are 2 Exalted Heroes on their Manticore supporting the Demon Prince of Nurgle, who does have Fleshy Abundance for that regeneration ability, and also Stream of Corruption for cleaning out the Tzeentch Armored Infantry. As for the infantry support, 4 units of Marauder Infantry, actually 3 units of Marauder Infantry for the infantry buffer, and that's it for the army builds. Now let's get the battle started and see how the grind game goes. Now this battle will be doing quite a bit of fast forwarding, as certain phases of the battle can drag on quite a bit. At the beginning here, we can see that Kairos and the Soul Grinder will be skirmishing away with their single entity firepower, Kairos with his blue fire spam and the Soul Grinder with his artillery shots. At the back there, the Mutilative Vortex Beast will be a very strong presence in this matchup, where he can enjoy all the healing coming from the regrowth from Kairos Fateweaver, easily heal capping its monstrous HP pool. Now in the front line there, the Blue Fire Spam and Soul Grinder shots are really whittling down one of the Exalted Hero, while some of the Marauder Horsemen has retreated back to the tree line, trying to avoid any of the skirmishing firepower, as they will be key in taking down the Vortex Beast. One of the Exalted Hero dove into the ground there, trying to hunt down the Soul Grinder, but the Screamers are here to stop its pursuit. But then the Warriors of Chaos army is jumping in with the Demon Prince and another Exalted Hero trying to goon out some of these Tzeentch mobility early on, doing a lot of damage to the rather glass cannon Screamers. But then the Demon Prince of Nurgle is taking quite a bit of damage from the counterfire from all these Pink Horrors. Now the Pink Horrors are aiming at the Marauder Horsemen, who got a little too close, putting themselves in the range of these Tzeentch missile infantry, while the Warriors of Chaos, more and more resources got poured into this fray here, trying to screen out the Screamer so the Exalted Hero can pull out of this engagement. One of the Screamer is already fading away from reality after taking too much damage, the other is also not far behind. But then the Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch are here to support, grinding down a lot of HP of the Demon Prince of Nurgle with its anti-large attacks. Then on top of that, the Mutilative Vortex Beast has jumped into combat as well, while the Demon Prince of Nurgle trying to pull out of that engagement with its attack animation. On the other side, 2 Chaos Trolls jumping on top of a Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch with Halberds. That is not going to be too pretty for them, as they took a lot of damage from the Charge Reflection, Anti-Lodge, and Armor Piercing. Though there are now some Marauders coming in to screen, and the Marauder Horsemen are moving in to check out their missiles, javelins, and throwing axes as well. Now at the back here, the Severed Claw are getting on top of the Exalted Hero, who is once again trying to hunt down the Soul Grinder. Now this is not great for the Exalted Hero, as the Severed Claw is easily working down its HP here, while the rest of the Warriors of Chaos army components are too far to support. You can see that the Exalted Hero is quickly dropping in terms of HP, while more and more Chaos Trolls are flooding into the backline, trying to shut down the Pink Horror missiles. They should do quite fine here with their heavy armor, mitigating a lot of the shots from the Pink Horrors and their melee attacks. There are even some Marauder Horsemen jumping into melee combat just to tie down the Pink Horrors. Now these Marauders needs to be activated and keep pushing those Pink Horrors Though the Chaos players' micro attention seems to be on the Chaos Trolls, who have decided to leave the Soul Grinder and go for the squishier pink horrors on the side. But the problem is that now the Soul Grinder is free to fire and whittle down the single entities and all these Marauder horses. Now it is aiming at the Demon Prince of Nurgle here, which is a pretty good choice considering the magical missile, ignoring its physical resistance. As for the melee engagement, despite the Tzeentch infantry suffering heavy losses, the Tzeentch army is actually gaining the upper hand. The Mutilated Vortex Beast still has almost full health and is now recharging its shield, while the Warriors of Chaos army, you can see that their balance of power is already in a disadvantage, as most of their units have been beaten back by the sturdy composition of a lot of heavily armored halberds and of course the Mutilated Vortex Beast. The single entities on the Tzeentch side are also very healthy. Outside of the Vortex Beast, the Soul Grinders still have over half health, and Kairos, of course, is just flying untouched. The 3 single entities plus the Severed Claw is basically all that's holding up the Tzeentch balance of power, and that's more than enough to gain an advantage. Even when surrounded by enemy units, the single entities are still relatively safe, with the Severed Claw beating back any opponents, while they themselves, the single entities, doing all the damage. Some of these armored trolls are already taking substantial casualties and are being beaten back by the terror of the Mutilated Vortex Beast. Very close to the white line, if they route off to the wrong direction, they will just go straight off the battlefield, but luckily for the warriors, they are now moving onto the other side of the battlefield, so they should be able to regroup, getting a bit of breather and regenerate some of their lost HP. While the Mutilated Vortex Beast is constantly terror routing everything around it, the Marauders unfortunately getting drained away by the Mortis Engine effect. Not only are they taking damage, but they are also getting hit by the Disoriented debuff. The melee defense and melee attack stats are reduced, making the Warriors of Tzeentch even more effective against them. Not that the Marauders are good at fighting these heavily armored elites anyways. At the back here, the Soul Grinder is a little bit isolated. After all, the Tzeentch ranks are kind of thin, with only 2 warriors with halberds, and the Severed Claw is busy protecting the Mutilated Vortex Beast. So the Soul Grinder took a lot of damage with the Exalted Hero and a single unit of Chaos Trolls supporting him. So the Soul Grinder will try to retreat back to the safety of all these Tzeentch infantry, though not before taking even more damage from the warriors' heroes. The Chaos Trolls are moving in once more. They are regenerating, still having 9 models left, so quite a bit of healing capacity remaining. But the problem is that there is little the warriors can do to work down the single entities here, with Kairos easily flying around, kiting away with the blue fire spam, while the Mutilated Vortex Beast is just tanking everything that the warriors are throwing at them. Another blue fire chipping away the health of the Exalted Hero, now down to the last bit of its HP. It is wavering. It probably won't be holding in this melee combat for too long, especially with some superior monsters standing around him. He desperately needs some Nurgle healing, but the Demon Prince might not have enough magic, so there is none. So that Exalted Hero will be routed away as the Severed Claw continues to work down all these warriors' monster, its terrifying presence immediately breaking off all the remaining warriors' units. Unfortunately for Tzeentch though, the Soul Grinder has been worked down and will be fading away from reality, though it is not a big issue right now as the 2 other single entities are still very healthy. The Demon Prince of Nurgle tries to pursue Kairos, but Kairos easily keeping ahead of him. Kairos having 90 speed, while the Demon Prince of Nurgle, being a Nurgle unit, only has 80 speed. Even if he managed to catch up, the Tzeentch barrier will still absorb his melee hits, rendering his damage ineffective. The Demon Prince is quite tanky, but with a Mutilated Vortex Beast lunging towards it, it will still take a lot of damage. On top of that, another blue fire from Kairos. Oof, this Demon Prince is taking some hefty damage. Finally, the Demon Prince is casting a much needed upgraded version of Fleshy Abundance, providing some AoE healing. Unfortunately, that is still too late for the Exalted Hero and he will still be routed. While Demon Prince is enjoying a little bit more security here, he is stabilizing his leadership, now retreating away, allowing the Chaos Trolls to pin down the Mutilated Vortex Beast as the recovered Marauder Horsemen throwing in all their javelins and throwing axes at the Mutilated Vortex Beast. At the same time, the routed Exalted Hero came back. It managed to recover enough HP, but how much effectiveness it has in this late game we shall see, as the Marauder Horsemen are continuously chugging out their javelins. We'll be going into fast forward here, as it is just this one unholy blob of Tzeentch troops pushing away units after unit, as the warriors are really struggling to deal with them. You can see that the Mutilate Vortex Beast is taking damage, but then again, there's always a regrowth available in Karos' back pocket, so even after working down so much of its health, the Tzeentch side can easily recover all those damage loss, while the ammo loss on the Warriors of Chaos Undivided is unfortunately not something they can recover from. You can see here a regrowth pushing the Mutilate Vortex Beast really close to its heal cap, while the Severed Claw easily holding their ground, buying enough time for the Vortex Beast to reinforce. And now all these Chaos Trolls are terror routed or regularly routed away. Now over here, the returning Chaos Warriors of Halberds are broken off by a combination of Marauder Horses, Chaos Trolls, the Exalted Hero who has recovered once more thanks to another Fleshy Abundance replenishing its depleted HP. The Demon Prince is also helping, but the Demon Prince is now extremely low in health. A few more blue fire can probably kill him off, and he doesn't even have much healing left. We'll be going back into fast forward once more, as the blue fire now chipping away the health of the remaining skirmishing firepower, the remaining counter to the Mutilate Vortex Beast. With the presence of the massive Tzeentch monster, the Chaos Trolls, after taking so much damage, doesn't really have the leadership to hold up. They're not exactly a high leadership unit anyways, and the Severed Claw continue to guard the Tzeentch single entity monster, providing that infantry buffer to beat back all kinds of warriors' threat. Now, the Exalted Hero trying to go after the Karos Fate Weaver, with Demon Prince of Nurgle falling from behind, but they are quite hopelessly outmatched as another Chaos Troll unit got shattered away. The Demon Prince took way too much damage and decided to land, hoping to seek some support from the Marauder Horses. But unfortunately, that is not going to save the Demon Prince of Nurgle. With him gone, the balance of power drops into Army Losses territory, and the rest of the Undivided Warriors decided to turn tail and run. Sadly, this game is basically Tzeentch having 4 units that carried the entire battle, Karos having 2,600 gold worth of damage value, the Vortex Beast 4,100, and then there's also the Soul Grinder of Tzeentch 1,500 and the Severed Claw 1,600 damage value and no model losses. Of course, this damage value is kind of inflated because of the Nurgle healing available to the Demon Prince of Nurgle, but still you can see how much power these 4 units have when combined together. For the rest of the Tzeentch army, the Chaos Warriors, one of them did pretty meh, but the other did fine, grinding down a lot of the Chaos Trolls and the Warriors of Chaos monstrous units. The rest of the army not so much, as the pink horrors were too squishy, being overwhelmed by trolls, and the screamers got beaten up pretty hard in the early game. It is really just the Mutilate Vortex Beast draining away all the health of the Warriors of Chaos units and also beating them down with its anti-large armor piercing attacks, while also providing a ton of buffs and debuffs to surrounding Tzeentch units. For the Warriors of Chaos, the single entities didn't do much work here. Same goes for the Chaos Trolls, really just getting out-traded at every single scenario. Very unfortunate for them, being forced to deal with one of the tankiest beasts of the entire game, having regrowth and Mortis Engine at the same time. For the infantry and Marauder Horses, they also didn't do too much damage. Some of them earned back their value, but the others not so much. The fact that Blue Fire and healing exists on the same Lord makes Karos an extremely oppressive legendary Lord option, and Warriors of Chaos doesn't seem to have a good answer to it. If anything that needs nerfing, I do say that Karos definitely needs to have the regrowth taken away from him in patch 4.1, though unfortunately I doubt CA would take this kind of action. Anyways, that's it for today's battle. I hope you all enjoy it, and if you want to see more Total War Warhammer multiplayer action, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Tactical Lich, signing out.